This is a SID-Refresh for exporting the configuration from an SAP ABAP system. When you logged onto the source system as SID-ADM, you have created a install directory where you have downloaded the SID-Refresh Java file. This is the one that we will use with Java in order to launch the GUI. First, we need to check the Java version and that the Java path is installed on this system. We support Java from version 1.6 and above. Also test the GUI. So xclock will test that your X terminal is working to work display. And also the R3 trans path is within SID-ADM and that you're able to execute a test connect. Now we are ready to launch Java along with the SID-Refresh. Once you've launched it, the GUI presents you with the export import directory by default. Defaults to the SAP global directory. You can change that directory. We recommend that you create a subdirectory for the export import because there's lots of subdirectory that will contain the configuration files that need to be stored there. Once you've created, now you can also look at the parameters for the R3 trans path. Also, you can select what configuration from the system that you will overlay the database copy with in order to save it by exporting those technical configuration. Once you uncheck the ones you do not want to save, you can then save the configuration to reuse later, either in GUI mode or in console mode, which allows you to execute the export in batch. Let's save that. We'll name a configuration file and store it in the export import directory. And now we're ready to start. Upon starting, it's going to start the R3 trans export for all the configurations. Depending on your system and your configurations, you will need time to do the export. Once the export completes, of course, the more R3 trans process you have, it runs faster. And acknowledge the OK button. And that completes the export process. You can now exit the SID-Refresh GUI, or you can review the export import return codes from the various execution it produced. If there are no errors, you can then exit. Now we can navigate to the export import directory that we created. So let's check the content of the directory for the export log file. In the export log file, there should be a .log file that we can view. These present the tables that were exported as part of the configuration. We can also navigate into the subdirectories containing the actual configuration itself. In there, we should also see the export log and also the data file. We can view the export log for further details to see the actions that were generated from each of those configurations. These will create a command file and also the data that will be used for importing into the system after you have done a database refresh. And then you want to restore the configuration in a QA environment that was saved during this process. This concludes the export process. Let's visit the import process.